works out. And then the next thing you know, he's beer commercials and he's busting through walls. And he becomes a broadcaster. He said boom and whack and he brought on a demonstrator and he's really loud and he gets really fast. He rides around in a bus, never mind being in a plane across the country. People getting close enough to him. It's kind of a wonder he's a guy that likes to surprise you. But on Sunday, he will light up your television screen with words and audio and order.
Memory, appreciation, and reflection. One more Monday night in Oakland, celebration of John Madden. Woo! I'm talking all in from Fox Sports. We are thrilled that you're going to spend your Valentine's Day evening as it should be, a celebration of love for all of us here gathered together in memory of John Madden. I'm the co-director and executive producer of the documentary, All Madden.
Oh, well done.
All along, telling this part of John's journey was that he might even have the opportunity to see it. He did. Gathered with family on Christmas morning at his home in Pleasanton. Sure enough,
hey, P-Town.
He polled everybody in the room and asked, what did you think? What was your favorite part? And ultimately everybody said, well, Dad, what did you think? And we were thrilled that the family and John had the opportunity to see it just 3 days before the match.
Wow.
We've assembled all that roster tonight. This fantastic line of speakers you see behind each of you, each connection to John. We'll hear from them, we'll hear some music, we'll watch some wonderful curated clips that celebrate John in different ways. You know, working on the documentary, we made 38 requests for interviews. We got 38 yeses back. That's 300 people in our line of work. We really feel, though, that we made hundreds of requests and got hundreds of yeses. One thing we didn't ask anybody to do was to stay. If we had, we certainly would have started with the first voice you will hear next. An absolute Raider great. Super Bowl rings, 13 seasons, and a member of the very first All Madden team. Would you please welcome Henry Lawrence? Yeah!
I could not stand here and not take the opportunity to say that John Madden was a giant, not just among the men, but among everyone. He was a man that could relate. He was a little guy and a big guy. And he didn't pull the punches. He was real. And it bounces my mind and telling me, looking at him and hit the guy, and it's that's you got to hit one, and then the next, and the next. And we were looking at a film one day, and referee had a flag on me, so I was all up in his face. I was trying to tell him, what the hell are you standing there out there? I told him what I said. He said, yeah. So, all of those things, we had a dark period of that. The darkest part of my NFL, because we had a blow up. You know, roommate was crashing, talking, and I didn't get a chance. We had a blow on the field, we didn't speak. You know, what's that? You know, like, I couldn't stand it. So, I just want to mention that no man is too great, too big to ask for forgiveness. And no man is too big or too great to give it. Well, I would have built a sports man and I said, "Coach, I got to talk to you." Just listen. I said, "Coach, you got to shut up. This is what I'm saying. This is not what's something to me. You I want to see somebody out there who can say, forgive me too, or forgive me, please do it. Because time we don't know how much. This song I did because he looked beyond what I was, what I believe he said you can be. He looked beyond. He looked beyond a lot of people. So this song dedicated to those guys. Shall always be my strength. Oh, it was pain and my victory. I know just how you came to love us. Wonderful Henry Lawrence, and thank you for sharing the song. From that kind of soul, from a great player to someone with an enormous heart, who also worked the sidelines in the Bay Area. A man who also understood how to build great connections with his players. Coached for 6 seasons for the San Francisco 49ers, 9 seasons in total. One of the best people in the league in all of football. Now a star of the NFL Network. Please, let's put warm welcome to Steve Mariucci.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. A little bit. I'm honored to be asked by the family to speak tonight. Players, coaches, broadcast colleagues, friends, family. And my relationship with John might be a little different. We each have our own with John, don't we? But my relationship with John started when I was coaching the Niners, production. Well, my favorite production when I was a coach at 49. He came in, he played the Packers, Lambeau Field. I'm on the bus. Now, show of hands, how many people have been on the bus? Oh, yeah. Would have our production meeting on the bus. And my mom would bring pastors from Iron Mountain, because I'm from there, and ketchup and napkins. And we would drive around the neighborhood on the bus, and I'd show them Reggie White Lewis and Brett Favre and Mike Holmgren's over there. And we'd drive down my cul-de-sac, and the kids started coming around, and they banged on the bus. Madden's here, Madden's here. We talked more about food capacities than we did about Jerry Rice and Steve Young and Brett Favre. Because you know John liked to eat. Every time he did that, he made sure my mom played with capacities. But I got to know John after I got done coaching, as a friend. In fact, the last time I golfed was with John Madden. Yep, that's us over there at Ruby Hills. Some of you have been there before. So neither one of us is very good. So we go 4 holes, and he said, "You're hungry?" I go, "Yeah." You took a right, we went into the clubhouse. So for the whole day, we told stories, and we ate, and we waited for everybody to get done. And that's how we bonded. But you know what? That was the last time I quit golf. I think he might have too. So we said, we got to do something. What are we going to do? How about, let's play more bocce ball. Bocce ball. And he said, yeah. And John never said, yeah. Right? He said, yeah, that's good exercise. And now, after the that's good exercise. Which is the only sport you can eat and eat pizza and play at the same time. You can't do that. Football, you can't do swimming. So let's play some more bocce ball. So many of you have seen in the Bay Area the Madden bocce ball fan. And I will say, John is not the best bocce ball player in the family. Who was the best? Virginia sitting right over here. Who was the best bocce player?
Hey.
Who was the second best man? Grandson. Mikey. And then Mike and Joe were really average. And John was John. We would compete. Everyone on the same team. I was NFC, he was AFC. And for over 2 decades, we raised money for the Bay Area. You know John's a big man, big personality. I hope you know that he had the biggest heart of all. We had fun eating pizza, playing bocce, laughing, but we were able to raise over $8 million for some Bay Area charities. 22 years. That's all we did. Over $1 million for Special Olympics of Northern California. Type 1 diabetes, CSF artificial pancreas, Tri-Valley football. We were both on the player safety advisory panel, so we would provide new helmets, football players, concussion guards. Boys and girls club, football camp where we started down there. We did a lot, and we had a lot of fun doing it. We had Raiders would go, Niners would go, celebrities were there, actors, Willie Mays, everybody made it for our event. Because it was a lot of fun and we raised a lot of good money. But I'm going to cut to one photograph that I would like to tell a quick story. He tried to broadcast bocce. You ever tried to do that? No, you broadcast. He did the play-by-play for us. Pretty good. And there's John. And you're still better. John was not the best team, the best man in the team, but he had the ringers, so he didn't go mad. He was just sitting over here playing his team. And that team went 3 times out of 22 years. It was very competitive. And that's our check to Dave Solo and the Special Olympics every year. We would have a lot of fun supporting all of the handing out the trophy that he didn't win. In fact, Frank Ball is that photograph. He's a line coach for the man. We had a lot of fun. Those are the football players that came to our events, and we supported them, and they supported us. We had a lot of fun. one year. Okay, the sisters came. John thought that they would pray for his team. Maybe they'd win. Did he know that I was an older boy in grade school? I was reading the grade school. Well, I really want that year. There's one photo I want to tell this for.
You got to stand up though. The bars in the.
Because John was never shot right here. When it came to a camera, a microphone,
Real, real.
people listening to him, he was that success. Kevin Pratt. Kevin asked me something completely different than what John wanted to talk about. So people were standing around, and there was national TV, radio, local TV and radio. And John asked me a question. He says, "You know how basketball came to America?" And the guy said, I don't know. So let me tell you how it came. In 1492, Christopher Columbus brought it over there. When he tried to discover America, he had bocce balls on the ships. You know the three ships, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. He had all the seven there. And every now and then, they would play up on the wooden deck, and then they started playing. You know, those little Italian guys. Italian guys, short. They play a lot. And he said, all of a sudden they're there, and then a wave would come, and boom! Oh, one of the places, no one records side, and then you have to pick up the ball and play. And then they started playing a little bit again. Ball back, and all of a sudden you have a wave, and then boom! Here comes the ball. Starboard side. And he said sometimes they would hook the ships up together, tie them all up like you would at Lake Havasu, and they'd have a round robin tournament. And you would have the Italians and the Spaniards and all these guys playing basketball. And I went, what? And everyone was like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's awesome. And they believed him. They believed him because John Madden said it. And what John Madden said is true. And when John Madden says the janitor at Pro Football Hall of Fame turns off the lights at night and the bus talk to each other, it's true. Because John said it. And when he says that the turkey on Thanksgiving has 6 or 8 legs,
Good, Red Orlando.
it's
Yes, be
true because
spicy.
John said it.
Thanks for watching.
When those Gatorade buckets over there hanging out all year, they have to be a baby bucket. Believe it, because John said it. And when John says he loves his family, his friends, and he loves the Bay Area,
Hey.
helping people, you believe it. Because he said it and he lived it. When he says he loved the Raiders and football, you believe it. And I know he loved bocce. So next time you pick up a bocce. I know everybody in here plays bocce. Whether it's that camp with a bocce, I do.
Hey.
In your backyard, and you want to have ragged runs with your family and your friends. Pick up that ball. You know everybody's watching. It's a big shot. I want you to take a deep breath and think, this one's for John. You let it rip, and John's going to be out there smiling. Thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Bruce. Man who had formed bonds with his players, and that's also in John's image. One of his greatest gifts, the relationships that he forged with those players on his rosters, how much they meant to him. And as we see and hear now, those players will never forget it.
My first impression of John was a gentle giant with a personality. players, he believed in silver and black.
He had the right attitude. He was smart. He was very good technique. He knew what he was doing. That's the key. There's not many coaches. You can't find one that looked and acted like John Madden. On the sidelines, up and down, trying to get a referee's attention. Get over here! I didn't watch his time to stick that there just front. Everybody wearing him?
There was no doubt he was getting upset. The world.
He was just so animated, verbally, physically, and in every way.
That was tough. He got more excited than the players.
He had the passion and the fire. He just you all back in. He really fired us up.
Mr. Jim Otter.
Coach Man has rules.
When I talk, nobody talks.
Be on time and go like hell on. No hair codes, no dress codes. Say the right thing to do before the game is set it up.
I've always said that John's strong suit as a coach was not X's and O's, and his strong suit was the way that he handled us, communicated with us, kept us going in the right direction.
He understood each player as a person. He loved everybody. He pulled everybody. He worked everybody. There's no problem about it. He was just a fine person. John outgrows this. He was a lion at heart. I loved John, man. John was great for us. He was for the players. He would do anything for the players.
Hey!
Show their appreciation and respect.
Yes.
What does it mean to you to be participating in this stadium on this field?
So much. John asked, I said, I want to have a gathering at the Coliseum.
Woo!
I know he's up there, and I know he's smiling down on all of his players that are here, and all of you people, the fans that supported him for so many years.
Woo!
Touch on Virginia for all the different things John is known for, the enormous philanthropy and charity that he and you and the Madden family have tried to show toward the city and the people of Oakland. And I know there were some things you wanted to share about that as well, Jane.
Well, John and I have separate banking accounts. So I get squirreling away money, and I save quite a bit. So I am going to match with my own
Aww.
up to $1 million of all the money that's raised tonight. John believes in the town of Oakland.
Wow.
He believed in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
He believed in the Raiders. I believe in the Raiders.
Woo! Yes!
In Oakland.
Yes! Yes! You know that's right! Oakland Raiders!
A football team.
Oh! Preach! Queen, preach! Oh.
One more, for those who may not have caught it, you gave such a great response. I asked you when you put the documentary together, John and how he handled losing. And you talked about the fact that people who bring up this, that you can't win them all.
Well, yes.
Why can't you?
I never saw a reason to lose a game. I never understood losing.
Right, lady!
Or anything. I can't tolerate losing.
One last thing. I don't know if you can say it better than you did, but your simple message to all the Oakland Raider fans, all over the country, not just the ones who gathered in Raider Nation, but your message to Raider Nation on behalf of you, John, and Alex.
You know, he always meant a lot to me because we were married 62 years. Some of it, most of it was great. Some were not so great. But the thing is you just have no idea how much your husband means to so many people. You know, the magazine that came out, you people here tonight, and the letters that I have been getting is just overwhelming. I can't believe that he can't pop up. He's everywhere. And I just can't get over the fact that he's not there. You know, that's something.
But he forever will be, here and in the hearts of so many whose lives he touched. Virginia Madden, everybody.
Hey, Queen! Virginia. Queen. By the way, did we all just realize she gave us permission, her blessing, to root for the next Oakland football team? I'm in.
I'll show you how I'm going to line them up right here. Solomon from this point starts out, runs a corner batter there, and that's the one that got him down to the goal line. That's he lines up cockeyed. All sides, it's okay. Just line up anywhere you want. And look at this middle here. That's the area that they're going to line hit.
They ran through the charts.
The outside, boom, two out the middle. Just tell you, the left here is here. Extended, he's line, hold it still, so it stays there. This leaves Simpson. That's the camera. He comes here. He comes here.
They keep fishing. Leads through there to linebacker. I got too many credits to sit here.
And then if you're going to pass like a little bit, just keep going back like that.
You broke your shot.
They have no idea where we are, who we are, where we're coming from, or which way we're taking.
It scares me, but I understand it completely.
Woo!
It's our next guest who joins us on tape. Been a leading voice across so many sports and remains the leading voice of CBS Sports. Please watch this tribute from Jim Nance.
Friends, I just wanted to say a quick word about John. And I feel like in some respects I'm channeling Pat Summerall because I had the great honor of being Pat's understudy for a good 10 years and worked a lot with him and got to hear firsthand so much about that relationship and how much he treasured John's friendship. Of course, John would be the eulogist at Pat's service back in 2013, and their unbreakable bond was something very special to see. And I had the chance down here at Pebble Beach, just across the way where John loved coming down here to the base of Ocean Avenue and seeing his buddies down here, Furman and Dominic, Carl, they were like brothers, I know. But my biggest takeaway from John was not about the video game, which was special. It's not about the broadcasting career, which is the best of all time. It's not about the Hall of Fame coaching career, which that is all there. It's about John the person and how he treated people. He was a great observer of people. He loved the people watching. He loved to meet complete strangers. He gave the kindness, he gave the respect and dignity. He had time for people. And that's a special person in my book. All those journeys across the country on the Madden cruiser, stopping off in all these little towns across America, the word got out rather quickly that John was paying a visit. Of course, we know what would happen. He'd come out of some coffee shop and there were a lot of people there to take a picture, to shake his hand, to get his autograph, and he had time for them all. And isn't that a wonderful thing that we all should be able to take from that and try to put it in our lives? Time. It's the greatest currency of all. And John had it. There's never enough to go around. There's never enough time. But he had time for people. And he managed that better than anybody I ever saw. What a giant. From his CBS family, from all the way back at the beginning of his broadcasting career, there's a few of us still around. And I just want to be able to say for a moment that, John, you were loved by CBS. Pat Summerall loved you. And I loved being able to have a front row seat watching the two of you, and later just watching you and the way that you handled life. It was a true lesson for me and for millions of people we touched. God bless you forever, John, and thank you for the difference that you made.
One legend in broadcasting, another true first woman to receive the Pete Rozelle Award given by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Also a member of the Sports Writers and Sportscasters Hall of Fame. An absolute legend in her own right. Please, a warm welcome to Leslie Visser.
Hello, Raider Nation. It is so great to be here. And as Jim Nance just alluded to, at CBS, we thought he belonged to us, and he belonged to every network, he belonged to America, most of all, he belonged to you. Thank you so much for having me. Virginia, and Mike, and Joe, and the whole family. We know that John never had a losing season, and he never had one with his family. It's really a privilege to get to know all of you. Before I got to know John and all of you so well, there were two things I was terrified of. John Madden himself and the black hole. You know?
Hey.
I was. But I would say John's, turned out to be such a great teacher and communicator and had such a giant heart. And your Princess of Darkness, Amy Trask. He said, no, I'll take you to the black hole. I said, no, that's such a great idea. And we went over to see Gorilla. Your mom was probably in that outfit back then, 30 years ago. And they were all yelling, hey, Amy, go Raiders. So, like everyone, I have grown to love you guys. As Jim Nance kind of mentioned, when he came to CBS, he changed CBS. He changed broadcasting the same way he changed everything he did. And at one point, John insisted that we have seminars before our seminars. And Ted Schaefer, who's here, our executive producer, suddenly we were going to Pebble Beach, Napa Valley, but John didn't want to drink wine then or golf. He wanted to talk about defense and go over plays, hour after hour after hour. We saw in that picture Randy Cross and Greg Gumbel. Look at him cross-eyed. But we all learned a lot about football, and we cherished that. It was so much like all of you. John taught all of us. Anyone who rode the bus knew that the bus was about football, food, looking out the window, stopping for a little league game or a coffee shop, more food, and mostly football. I was sharing before with some of the coaches how I remember one time we were coming here to a game, and we're coming through Utah, and John just looked out the window. The bus is bouncing. John looked out the window and said, dark chocolate. I don't get it. It's like they got halfway to milk and quit. And you all know that's how it's mine. Well, John had a phase where he insisted that I learn a then Washington Redskins county prayer. And we would be on that bus, and he would play over and over and over. And he would quiz me, okay, what happens to the fullback after they pull? What is John Riggins doing? So he would go over this and quiz me. And finally, I said, you know what? I get it. And I died. Okay, coaches, you guys are going to be horrified. But, okay, so I sat down at a table on the bus, and I did all the X's and the O's, and I had Grim and Jacoby going one way, and then, Riggins would do that little dance, like an Iggy shuffle, dance to the left, dance to the right. And so I was really proud of myself, and I handed it to John, and he looked down for like 4 agonizing seconds, and he said, believe that formation has ever been seen in the history of the NFL. It's kind of refreshing. All right, maybe I had Boston got a wide receiver or something, but did the best I could. As you know, John was so generous to everyone with his time and who he was. I remember one Christmas in New York, he gave all my girlfriends the bus, the Madden cruiser, Dave and Lily driving, to go around to bars in New York. And there were about 15 or 20 of us. And first we went over to Dakota. And John was the host, I guess. And this idea of hosting 20 women over at the Dakota was to give each of us a paper cup, and he went around with a big bottle of Jack Daniels, poured each of us a shot, and that was it. Then he walked us out, 70 seconds where the Madden cruiser was, and we all got on the bus. And as the bus was pulling away, John was yelling in the middle of the street, "Any of you single girls who can't get lucky Christmas week going around on the Madden cruiser to bars, you are losers." As the bus was pulling away. But as you all know, John was up for anything. Remember the Super Bowl in Minnesota? I was in Minneapolis in '92. And John decided we all had to go ice fishing, which you were on that, right? I can't remember, Joe. Joe, you were probably on it too. You were probably on it too. I remember we first had to get those ridiculous outfits. And of course, it was no degrees in February in Minnesota. And drove the Madden cruiser right up to relax, right to the edge of the ice. And we all got out, and Richie Zions, who also worked with us, weighed about what I did, 25 pounds, we were freezing. And John said we could not have those warming cuts that everybody who ice fishes has. And John said we couldn't have them because I can't repeat the language. But it was something like, only effing chicken and effing people have warming cuts. Turn over buckets. I mean, really, none of us is unfinished. It was ridiculous. I think Mike reminded me that we actually didn't catch anything, but some guy, 3 warming huts down, gave us some walleye. And Joe and Mike will remember that Lance Sparrow, our producer, he fried up those walleyes on the Madden cruiser all the way back to Minneapolis, and we all said it was the best fish. Oh, there he is. Hi, Lance. So great. And there's Richie. They all remember it. Lance did such a great job frying up that walleye. So these are all the memories that so many colleagues, players, family, everybody has with John. John, of course, at heart, we all know, was a teacher. And I remember that one time the bus stopped in Las Vegas on its way to the game, and the heavyweight fight that was preparing. And John said, all you have to do at a heavyweight fight is just call everybody champ. Like no matter who you see, hey champ, hey champ. I mean, there'd be like a 100-year-old woman, hey champ, hey champ. But he just loved, just loved anything and everything. And he so willingly gave to all his friends and his colleagues at all the networks and his family. And I want to tell you one more story, I guess, and then I'll just thank you. There was one time the bus stopped in Fort Worth to fuel up, and all of you have been on the bus know that the bus didn't eat that often, but it stopped in Fort Worth. And John saw this famous place that sold saddles, like not far from where we were fueling up. And he said to me, I have got to get a saddle. And, I've never ridden a horse in my life. And next thing you know, I've got this really expensive hand-tooled saddle that we put on the bus. Oh, there it is. That's the only time. It sits in my living room. And he used to say, well, Virginia rides. Virginia has ridden her whole life. But that was that's it. I spent some, so if anybody wants to buy a saddle, I have one in my living room. So thanks so much to all of you. It's been really a privilege. And I want to tell you that we know the Oakland is a pirate, but you great nation, Underhand and players, you have been the wind beneath these wings. Thank you.
Bless you, Mister. Thank you so much for that great privilege lesson. As much as John devoted his life to football, and we're hearing over and over, to food, these were not his only passions. He also liked music. And we heard earlier from the wonderful Henry Lawrence. Now let's hear from another friend of John's. Setting his tribute by video, here's the fantastic guitarist, singer, and member of the legendary E Street Band, Nils Lofgren.
Hello everyone, I'm Nils Lofgren. My wife Amy and I send our love and gratitude to Virginia, Mike and Joe and family. The life you helped John create and share with us all remains magnificent. Thank you. Now, Amy and I feel blessed to have John as a friend for so long. I first met John back in 1985, and composing original rock and roll for the old Madden team was exciting, but getting to know John as a friend meant so much more. And it was actually Amy who finally got John to a Bruce Springsteen and E Street Band show. He absolutely loved it. Now, I'm used to seeing that huge Madden grin, but to see it for 3 hours straight was a memorable gift. And John did agree, it was definitely all that. So of course we shed our tears, but still in our hearts, let's smile and rejoice that we've all been touched and inspired by John's wonderful life. So next love and respect to John, Virginia, and family, to all here tonight. I sing this song in honor of our dear friend, the great John Madden.
Do what? Will you just hold it? I have to go to the bathroom. Uh-oh. No, just there are people watching. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Our next message tribute is also on video, not musical, and we didn't ask him to sing. But just to share a memory of what John Madden means to him and his career and his life. Here's the Hall of Fame, eighth man.
My grandfather was a huge football fan. Obviously, we loved watching his grandchildren play. In my rookie year, we weren't very good, obviously, 3-13. It's like every other week, he would ask me, are Matt and Summerall doing the games Sunday? I said, Papa, no, they're not. We're playing Bengals, they're 1-9. Matt and Summerall just don't do those games. Next thing you know, one of the Cowboys, they of course had Aikman, Emmett, Dion. That was a big deal. But the Madden Summerall combination coming to town was just as big.
What do you think? You're a crazy man, and he reminds you so much of his dad. What a job they did, and raising him. He's what I'm talking about. He's kind of my favorite player.
And our building, we felt like we had a chance to do something special, but we can't go out there and say that. But when John Madden comes in and says it, okay, this must be real. There's something big. There's something special.
That day and that privilege. When John left coaching and then left broadcasting, he never left football. He still remained connected, so many involved in the game, and in particular to coaches, like our next speaker. A Super Bowl champion, NFL Man of the Year as a player, NFL Coach of the Year. Please welcome the head coach of the now Washington Commanders, the great Coach Ron Rivera.
Thank you. Thank you, Madden, for allowing me to come here and pay tribute to Coach Madden. You know, there are many monikers, many titles you can associate with John Madden. Division-winning coach, conference-winning coach, Super Bowl champion coach, and Hall of Fame coach. But to me, he was coach. I didn't play for him, but I was one of his coaches. I was fortunate enough to reach out to Coach Madden after my second season and ask him if I could come visit with him. I could talk with him. I could listen and learn from him. So he allowed me to come see him in Pleasanton, California. Before I came, he said, Ron, do me a favor. I know you got this record of 3-13. Game decided by 6 points or less. What I'd like you to do is go back and look at those 13 losses. Think about what you could have done differently. So I did. I went back, looked at those games, wrote a nice little report, about 15 pages, and I bring it to coach. So I meet him in his office. We sit there and start talking. And I said, hey coach, I got that little homework you gave me. He looked at it and said, not for me. What'd you learn? I started thinking about it. I said, well, I was doing the right thing. I was going by the book. He looked at me and said, well done. I said, Ron, you played enough football. You coached enough football. Go by your gut. Go by your instinct. Go by what you know. So, for the most part, I went back, thought about those things. And as we started the 2013 season, my third season in the league, I started going for it on fourth down. Inside their 30, got an opportunity to get a first down, continue the drive, and I did it. And it worked. And then I did it again and it worked again. Before I knew it, I was Riverboat Ron. Going for it on fourth down, or doing things that were different. I get a phone call. It's Coach Madden. Hey, Coach, how you doing? I said, Ron, I wanted you to go by your instinct. I didn't want you to get carried away. I said, Coach, I was just doing what you told me. I just felt we could do that. He said, yeah, but you know what? You got to do it the right time. back in. But one of the really cool moments during the 2013 season, my third season when things really started to get better for us, played the 49ers in San Francisco. We beat them 13-9. I knew you liked that, Raider Nation. But he called me and was so excited. He said, Ron, that's what I'm talking about. Physical, downhill football, smash mouth football at the point of attack. Plus, I like the fact that you kicked there. I said, I appreciate that, Coach. And it really really made me feel like I'd accomplished something, I had learned something, and I was getting it from him. His support, his guidance was truly important to me. And it meant a lot. That year I did go on, I was fortunate enough to win the NFL Coach of the Year. And thank you. And a couple days later, I called Coach, and I said, look, I know I haven't learned everything. The award is yours as much as it's mine. I want to come see you again. I wanted to talk about sustained success. And he invited me back. We got an opportunity to spend some more time together. Those moments, those opportunities to spend time with him meant a lot. It's really helped me as I've gone through my coaching career. When I was a player, I got the opportunity to get on the bus. We were in the playoffs, getting ready to play New Orleans. A few weeks before that, I got my foot, fractured my leg, a toe fracture just below the joint, knee joint, and I missed the game. Getting ready for the playoffs, coach comes in, he had heard I was going to play. So he comes in and sees me in the locker room, and he says, hey, come on, kid. So we start to talk. He says, how's the knee? I said, well, it's pretty good. The doctor said I should be able to play on Sunday. He said, really, did it hurt? I said, oh, it hurt a lot, coach. It really did. So he does the game Sunday. He talks about me. He mentions me playing with a broken leg. And after the game, I get home that evening. My mom calls me. She's scared to death. I said, what's wrong? She goes, Coach Matt said you were playing with a broken leg. I thought you said you were fine. I said, Mom, I'm okay. Trust me. That's this coach doing the props, making me seem like I'm some sort of tough guy. But he had this way of, expressing himself. And stuff like that you really appreciated, because he really did know how to make it look good, especially your mom. When I was younger, when I was 15 years old, and they had just won Super Bowl IX, first opportunity I had to meet Coach Madden. He and his family down in Monterey, California. Here I was 15 years old, I see Coach Madden. I run up, introduce myself. We start talking. He gave me the time of day. He spent a little bit of time talking with me. We talked for about 2-3 minutes. And I said, Coach, I won't be in the NFL. And he looked at me and said, hey, kid, go with your gut. And that was the first time I heard that expression. I never forgot. He wrote me out an autograph, best wishes and good luck. And he handed it to me. And he said, kid, go with your gut. And the thing that I learned back then, he was coaching me then, and I didn't realize it. He was showing me what it meant, what you're supposed to do as a coach. That's give back, give your time to people. It's a little lesson I learned, but I never forgot that. I really, truly appreciate that. That's one of the things about Coach Madden that I will always remember, and I will never forget. He gave you his time. He was special, and he'll always be remembered. And thank you, Virginia, for sharing it with us. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ray Nation.
Ron Rivera, wonderful memories and lessons and remarks, Ron. There were so many players John Madden connected with, perhaps no one more than a certain quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Together they could turn a simple production meeting into an hour-long discussion that virtually served the broadcast not at all, but deepened a bond that makes this day. So let's watch this tribute to John from the Hall of Fame, Brett Favre.
You know, John Madden, to me, it's funny because generationally, like my daughter, my youngest daughter is 22, she knows who John Madden is, but she doesn't know that John Madden was a coach. She relates John Madden with a video game. And my nephew is 17, and he's like a Madden guru. But he's like, I was telling him not too long ago, his name is Casey, that, you know, Madden was a coach. He's like, really? People generationally everyone knows who Madden is, but like my generation and obviously before, I just think of him being really boisterous on the sidelines and excited, and that's the way he was in the booth. And he was a larger-than-life figure on the field, but an even larger-than-life figure in the booth. He brought to the booth, no disrespect to anyone else, but a rawness that I brought to the field. He said what came to mind at that time, and it was not scripted, and it was just, you know, I always say this about my career, when people watch me play, I think, not from necessarily a play-by-play perspective, but just how I played and the joy. People said, that's the way I would play if I could play. And I think that you can say the same for John in the booth. It's like, boom. You know, wow. You know, Nate Newton eating a turkey leg. You know what I mean? He was drawing stuff on the diagram. It was just John Madden, and no one else could come close to doing what he could do in the booth. And so I think that's why people related to him so well, but also loved him. You know, John and I think he was the first game he did live. Would be somewhere around 93 to 94. I don't remember the first game, but I do know that he probably did 20 or so games, if not more. First of all, what it meant when John Madden was doing your game, it meant you were on prime time, and that was a good thing. When you had a chance that you knew everyone was watching. Regardless of who you were playing, where you were playing, John Madden and Pat Summerall were doing the game. You knew everyone was watching. So the typical protocol is whether you're home or away, the day before the game, you meet with the commentators about the game, do's and don'ts, what do they look like, you know, how you're going to attack them, that type of stuff. Well, with John, we would talk an hour, but we would tell stories. Maybe the first thing he would say, hey, how you doing, Coach? Good to see you again. And the coach would say, well, Brett, has anything changed from last week? No, Coach. Good. What about who's coming to the game? What about this? It would be not football related. We would just start telling stories, and we would laugh. And our PR director at the time, Lee Rosen, who was an older gentleman, and you may have met Lee back in the day. Lee would say, we got to keep this on subject. And he would almost get angry that we would just laugh and tell stories, and there was other guys that were waiting to do their interview as well. And this was every single time that we played a game with John Madden was doing the booth commentary. So we had a special relationship. And I think people have asked me why did you and John get it on? I don't know the answer to that, sir, but I would think that he saw a little bit of himself in me. Just a carefree, all shots I got. And when he was in the booth, it was a way out the field. And that's where that special part came from.
Ah, yeah, loyal to the soul. You hear that, right?
Immediately after he passed. I feel like my career was supposed to be narrated by John Madden. As I look back, it's as if it was. Now, we didn't do every game, but people relate me to John Madden. And, I mean, I had so many people after John Madden.
Dr. Duncan. They should have sold that tonight. Concession stands.
I sense the great relationship that we have, and I look forward to him doing one of my games. And one reason we were flying tonight, but for the other reason, we got to spend time together, and he was a larger than life figure. If you didn't know him, he was even larger than life if you did know him, and I'm just thankful for my relationship with him.
Very heartfelt there. Appreciate Brett Farm sending along those thoughts. Our next tribute also on tape. Somebody who was pretty busy just last night, broadcasting to more than 100 million people doing the Super Bowl for NBC. Someone else close to John who shared the broadcast with him. On tape, here's Al Michaels.
To those of us lucky enough to have him as a friend and colleague, and to the millions who knew him through television, there were a lot of things that made John Madden one of a kind. But the common thread to all was what a great communicator he was. What a thoughtful listener. What a terrific teacher. As his coach, never speak themselves terribly Super Bowl. Many of the lot of things today might know he had the highest winning percentage of any coach who won 100 or more games.
Hey.
That turned to broadcasting and created a new temple with a sound that was original, often imitated but never duplicated.
This guy crosses here.
Lots of people behind the microphone have been well known.
He makes a little basketball twister and a pivot, and boom, falls here.
He was a part of skating that is complicated. Making a complex game accessible, understandable, educational, and usually entertaining. The software people approached John by putting his name on their running. Yes, he dove in. Over the years, he worked with them to make sure that game was as close to the real deal as possible. All along the way, John's fear of flying compelled him to travel around the country on his bus, exploring the hinterlands and flyer country in his own pace. Genuinely advocating for every state, restaurants, coffee shops, anywhere. He was like any alive in that John's apartment for 7 years on Monday and Sunday nights. The best memories I'll take with me are just like the first 46 years here. Going out to dinner, opening up a newspaper, talking about history, genre, food, life, anything, everything in addition to football.
This has been the sweetest part of it all.
John Madden made everyone around him better. He was a larger-than-life character. He was the one and only.
Yes.
Our next speaker is a member of Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame. Segments with John on his guests were more than a fixture for listeners across so many years. They were must-listen. More than a radio partner, was a very dear friend. Please, a warm welcome for Stan Butler.
You know, as Coach would have said, and he did say things like, son, how the hell did I end up here? I'm so thankful to the Madden family for having embraced me. Here tonight, family, great group, listening to all of you, very special, because John and the effect of all this. You know, we're on camera together. It's really John Madden legend, yeah. Now, everyone in America knows God as the Hall of Fame coach, the guy who sold my beer, The man who essentially invented the role of modern football analyst on television. No, by the way, this man on video. But John also had an important career that only those of us lucky to both there and know. And here's the crazy part. That career lasted longer than any of the other ones I just mentioned. For more than 35 years, John Madden was part of morning radio here in the Bay Area. He started with Edward G. Nelson, the old KSFO, moved on to KNR with Craig Hill. And 25 years ago, Coach came over to KCBS, who had now hired on the morning news. 3 years later, Al retired. I guess you could say I inherited John. He became part of my life. I'm not going to lie to you, I was pretty nervous. And it's John, that's Matt. Show up to work every day. Full court with John Madden. So the bosses set up a protocol. I can know why I'm probably yelling about how much I love sports, my dad, grandma, football coaches, and try to just make sure that he understands that I know what I'm talking about. Coach just waits. He finally says, "All right, Stan, great. Talk to you tomorrow." And that's how it started. I don't remember what the first segment was about. Probably a little about football and a lot about whatever else is on Coach's mind. And that's how it went for nearly 20 years. My rough math says Coach did about 5,000 of these segments. I can honestly say, I don't remember a single one where it ended, we looked at each other in the studio and said, "Well, that's something." No, it's quite the opposite. Steve and Susan and I were along for the ride every weekday morning. So was our audience. You never really knew where Coach was going to take that conversation. You knew it would be interesting. Listeners told us they could play the quarter. They'd stay in their cars. You hear the end of it was supposed to be a 5-minute segment, but often ran much longer than that. Unlike the NFL broadcasts, the game was the thing. On the radio, we really got to do something John Madden was really pretty good at. That was just hang out. It was about whatever John wanted to talk about. Our audience got to know John's crew. Dominic, Pliskin, and Gilday, and Carl McCobb, John Robinson, who brought in for family from time to time. Of course, the Vivian, the boys, the grandkids, and the dogs. Mrs. Crawford, the grandkids' 5th grade math teacher. Her little boy Brendan played football, you know, and he turned into a decent baseball player too, you may remember that great program. And of course, there was boxing. And that very easy tournament provided some great material because Coach loved nothing more than poking fun at somebody. Himself, but somebody else was even better. You know, I was truly blessed at this point because it wasn't just the audience. Coach would say, "Mi casa es su casa," like a joke, but he really meant it. It took me a long time to realize that if John Madden accepted you into his circle, you were in. Even if you pulled crap like I did, and the very first day somehow, maybe not a coincidence, John's team and the KCBS team paired up in the first round. And that's the thing with them to match ends up tied. So now, a roll, 1-1. And of course, it's got to be mano a mano. Neither is the coach. He hates to lose. Maybe as much as he hates. Now, I think it was Virginia who brought the Duns that way, not John. I hate to lose too. So now, we're ready to go. John wins the coin flip, I guess, and he rolls first. It's a pretty good ball. It's do or die time for me. As soon as it leaves my hand, I know it's a. And then I go all NFL wide receiver, and I'm strutting, and I'm thumbing, and I'm high-fiving, and I walk right by Coach, who has his hand up for a congratulatory handshake. You think you're going to let me live that down? For many years, John was hosting a KCBS barbecue at his facility in Pleasant. We bring in a bunch of clients, a few listeners, roast the whole pig, and eat like pigs. Virginia would make chocolate cakes, Mike and Joe, and Wendy and grandkids would show up. It was a family hangout, and I think Coach really enjoyed it because in the world of Madden involved, hanging out at CBS is something really worth doing. So many people say they remember Madden. There's a phrase, a made-up word, a philosophy. There were a lot of them. After his passing, I heard from so many people who told me the one that stuck with them, something that they still say every day. Our radio conversations were often funny because John Madden was a funny guy. They were also often because John Madden was also a very serious guy. And if you want to talk about smart, don't even get started. I met and interviewed a lot of smart people in over 40 years of broadcast. I don't think I've ever been as smart as John Madden. I'm surrounded by NFL royalty here on the stage this evening, so I may be out of my lane, but I don't think it's too big a stretch to call John the conscience of the National Football League. He cared deeply about football, about the league. He wasn't afraid of calling it out when he thought things were being done wrong. And a lot of the things he cared deeply about when it came to pro football were things we were talking about on KCBS. A lot of conversations about head injuries. John was very serious about changing the way people in football approach that time. He had a lot of talks about the game. I was laughing at Brett Favre because Brett's 27 retirements and unretirements were part of the conversation we've got for so many years. We talked about the people who played the game, who played the game. This is guy walking covered belly, the Coliseum to come out here on the field. I realized I was in God more than almost any place on earth. Thousands of stadium. He loved coaches, and you could truly hear the pain. He reminded us that firing of a coach wasn't just something for a sports talk show. It involved real people, real families, all being impacted. And he really, really cared about Oakland. My one regret is that I could never change John's mind about NFL overtime. He truly believed that if you lost the coin flip, you should just quit griping and just win the game on defense. I would argue with him. I'd point out that data made it clear that the team that lost the coin flip lost the preponderance of the games in overtime. John just wouldn't hear it. Once a linebacker coach, always a linebacker coach. In wrapping this up, the thing is, John Madden was like all the rest of us. He was a regular guy, but also not a regular guy. A superstar because he was a regular guy, and at the end of the day, a Bay Area guy.
Yeah.
He used to love to talk about somebody from around here who'd done something big by saying, hey, that guy's from where we're from. That's exactly the point. America loved him. We owe him. God bless you, Coach. Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much, and wonderful job. Well, this night is titled One More Night in Oakland.
Yeah.
But for many Raiders fans, one Monday night game for Madden's Raiders. Well, that was perhaps more special than any other. A December night in 1976 was a dear playoff implication. Let's watch and remember.
I started following them in 1970.
The scenario is this. We beat the Bengals, the Steelers are in. The Bengals are out. We lose.
Town Biz, Oakland, California for life. You know that's right.
So the thinking was, they don't want to play Pittsburgh. They want to play Cincinnati, so they're going to go lose. That's the worst thing you can say about someone that they lost on purpose. Just for the sake of the organization, just for the sake of football, just for the sake of what's right. You got to go win.
Hey, look at those badass motherfucking Oakland Raiders, baby.
Smash Mouth.
You know, Smash Mouth. You tell him, Dottie.
Yes.
Hey. Hey!
You know, I don't know any other way to play. And thank goodness my players didn't either.
Yes! Let LFG.
The weight of a large season. Our next speaker knows plenty about huge weight. The man who has hoisted the Lombardi Trophy himself. An NFL Coach of the Year, the Super Bowl champion, the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, and a dear friend, John Madden. Please welcome.
Thanks for being here. We politely boo you.
They're clapping and booing at the same time.
So I said, thanks for being here. We politely boo you.
Hey, now, be
All right,
nice.
let's take it easy.
About 30 plus years ago, first year at Oakland, took me in like one of his own. He said, you played offensive line? I said, I did. He said, you're in. I was in the
Mark Davis, loyal to the soil. You know better than that.
Coach got me to appreciate every day, every game, every play. Taught me not to back off. What I knew would be the best for the national football. Taught me the coaches aren't the hammer that delivers to the national football. And we had a voice that properly presented people of listening. Roger Goodell and the others. Commissioner Goodell asked coach to put together a committee of coaches, present day coaches, that could review the rules and regulations of the National Football League. I got a call from Coach Madden to be on that committee. I was proud of it. As were the other coaches, and we're also on the I got to work hand in hand with great moves on Madden. It was an honor. His relentless trust in his own common sense suggested to change the game for its betterment probably drove Commissioner Goodell crazy. But it was awesome to watch his beautiful mind formulate his want. Tommy never lived my childish love for life. Remember a time we played 49ers, Coach Madden, down in San Francisco. I called him when I got there. It was a 2-day trip to Philadelphia. And I'm sitting on the 30th floor, and I'm calling Coach on my cell phone Saturday before our locker. As I'm talking to him, I look down 30 floors above, and I see this little blue hat. And there's a man sitting down at an open cafe in the middle of downtown San Francisco. He's talking to everybody that walks by. I keep hearing on my cell phone, how you doing? And I go, Coach, are you at an open cafe? Right in the middle of San Francisco. He goes, yes, I'm down there. I said, you weren't a blue hat? He goes, yes. I said, Coach, I can spit on your head right now. I'm 30 stories up. I said, you know what, I'll call you when I get back from the locker room. He said his apartment was right across the street, so I came back, I called him at his apartment. Don't forget the challenge part. So I called Coach, and I said, where's his apartment? He says, I'm kidding quiet. I said, well, I'm right across. I said, I'm standing in the window in the corner. So all of a sudden I see the curtains moving out of the way, the couch moves out of the way, and here's Coach. I can't give the rest of my talk.
I see the curtains move, I see the clouds move, and here's Coach Madden. So I said, I count the floors, it's not like the 18th floor. I said, Coach, I'm about 15 floors up, just take a peek. So I'm up there and I'm doing this and there in the window and it's tented and then we see each other. And it's like two little fat kids in 5th grade in a candy store going, oh, I see, we see each other, we see each other. It was a beautiful thing. Also, I look forward to Friday nights. Friday nights is Triple D, 9 driving to die. Coach and I like to eat, which I think is obvious. And we would grade Guy Fieri on the meals that he was checking out. We would say, is this good? Does Guy like it or doesn't like it? Is this a good meal or a bad meal? If it's a good meal, we got to have that bad boy. And we would proceed, him in Northern California, me in Kansas City, we'd proceed to go get the burrito. If the burrito was on, or the hot dog was on, or the hamburger was on, we had to have one that night. Thank you guys for He taught me that a sense of humor goes a long way, especially with players, and really people in general. You saw the Brett Favre picture here. It wasn't always like that. So as Butch can testify. So Coach Madden had an issue if he smelled somebody's gas. Brett Favre had a lot of gas. But on this day, during the production meeting, we were on the road. Brett Favre had a plan. He's a big-time prankster. That's Coach Madden was. Brett had got his hands on a little bottle of Morning Breeze. It was sulfur. It smelled like natural gas. Like Brett's natural gas. But during the production meeting, Brett had this plan. He was going to get Coach Madden again. So he took, during the production meeting, he sprinkled this Morning Breeze on Coach's feet. I sat outside the door, and here comes Coach Madden through this thing like he used to make his guys drive the 7-man sled. Gagging all the way out, cherry red, and he looked at me and he goes, this quarterback is unbelievable. I love this guy. Coach loved being one of the guys. He loved the common human. Most of all, he loved his beautiful wife, Virginia, tough farm girl. Loved his boy. He loved his parents. Coach Madden loved life. Life loved him back. Coach was able to turn everything into gold. We got to pride in those big golden shoulders. John Madden's in heaven now. It's 100 times bigger than the Hall of Fame. The Buffs are now alive. He's constantly talking to the greats of all sports and telling them why football is the greatest sport of all. God has asked him to be careful flailing his big arms. John, we have a packed house up here. Look over there. Pete Roselle's still hiding from politics. Past officials are still hiding behind Pete Rozelle. The sideline polar bear has arrived. He's here. And he is ready. The company is for everybody. We will make heaven even a better place than it already is. Pat Summerall and John Madden are together again. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost bow to the echo of this holy reunion. Their play-by-play has brought a peaceful excitement to the heavens. All is well. I love you, Coach.
Hey, we love you, Coach.
Football was always a passion, but the greatest and deepest purpose, that was his family. And so was sharing the game with them. One of John's greatest stories.
I think Dad's legacy certainly had a hand in building the foundation of everything we're celebrating for these days. The silver and black, our boys, commitment, excellent. He lived it, he embodied it. He ingrained it into the players. He took it from the locker room out of the football. And made it happen.
I think his legacy is a Raiders friend. Father's no finance, doesn't go as video. He goes to the Raiders. It's not so much just John and Matt. His legacy goes to the Raiders of the 70s. You can't put a price on that. It's not.
He's reached the top in everything he's ever done.
Thanks, Raider Lando.
His Super Bowl victory. He's been good at everything. He's ever being a father, being a husband. But he had a good teacher, Al.
Nope.
We're also honored to recognize his family. It's such a privilege to get to know them over this past year. Now, to speak on their behalf, please give a warm welcome to John's son, Matt.
Woo!
Start with what we want. We wanted to live in Oakland. We loved Oakland. That was so nice seeing yesterday. But tonight I'm in a football stadium. Not celebrate the life of John Madden anywhere else. First thing, I thought that on this night, first thing he would want to honor and celebrate the great career of Cliff Branch that finally got recognized. Those seats right over there, jagged line, those get removed. Those corners right there. After Cliff, you want people to see. He loves his coaching fraternity, he loves his coaching brotherhood, he loved the coaches committee. So, who do you want to have speak? We start with Andy Reid. Andy Reid they had late night phone calls, and they were going back for 20 years. And every day after Dad would speak to Andy, he would just be fired up. He'd talk to Andy last night. You ever think about this? Andy and I talked about this. And it wasn't, sometimes it was X's and O's, sometimes it was O's and ribs. But he always loved and a great relationship with Andy, having Coach Reid here. There's a real pleasure in Dad looking down and loving that part of it. And the same thing with Coach Rivera. Coach Rivera would come out here and visit Pleasant for multiple days. Dad came to talk football, X's and O's. Dad loved that. And after Coach Rivera would take off, Dad would seem like 10 years younger. He would just revitalize him. He was just a younger guy after that. And then Coach Mariucci. Dad loved about his parents. Later in life, that was one of the biggest things. It was the first thing he put on his calendar. He wanted to reach you. So we got the coaches thing covered. The other thing we want, he'd like to do loved his players that came out all over. Having Henry Lawrence, the great tackle.
Make sure you can see where it is.
Love that. Notice we lined up Henry at right tackle. There's a lot of football on this stage. And if you're gonna, you gotta balance it out. Can't be all big linemen and football. So how do you balance it out? Dad had a great relationship with Leslie Visser. I was watching all the Super Bowl festivities, and there are dozens of women talking about football on TV today. But 30 years ago, somebody beat Way and the Trailblazer, and Leslie Visser was that one who saved the way. He loved his relationship with KCBS. Like Stan said, he woke up with 8:15 and did that show every single day for years and years. And so having KCBS represented here with Stan is something that people want to do. The Bay Area Radio was a big part of what he did. The irony wouldn't be lost on him that the skinniest guy on this stage is representing the biggest and best skiing day of the year, and that was the KCBS barbecue. He also, again, think of the players that he brought out to this sideline in this stadium. He always surrounded himself with excellence and greatness. And he would want Mike and Matt and their team that have put on the program tonight and Tom and Aldi and then see like I said, I was down in the Super Bowl yesterday, and I was down all week, and a lot of people were expressing their condolences and sorrow and things, and I got dozens and dozens of well wishes, and it was great, and it was nice to be in the football community, but I want to point out two that were very special. One was Andrea Kramer, and the other was Charles Haley. And Andrea Kramer, she was telling me about her career and her relationship with Dad, and how he told her about this, mentoring this, encouraging for that. And Andrea, and then when she was going back decades, she was going back into the 90s, I had no idea. And then she said, and then finally, a conversation I'll never forget with your dad. I was going to broadcast my first live game as an analyst, and she was kind of scared to death. And I called your dad, and he said, Andrea, you've been working your entire life. You've worked and prepared for this forever. Just be yourself, you're going to be great. And she says, when John Madden tells you to be yourself, you're going to be great. That gives you the confidence to be yourself and be great. She said, I'll never forget that. And then I hope the day before that, going into the NFL honors. Dad was walking. And you guys know the difference. But when I've traveled with Dad over the years, it's easy to recognize me when I'm on my dad's hip or 3 steps behind him. So you see Charles Haley over there in the plaza. And I'm thinking, do I really seem to be bothered by me right now? And then I kind of think about what Dad would want. He goes, no, Charles is a stop-by guy. Just stop by and say hi to Charles. And I met Charles a few times over the years. But it's always, 3 steps behind my dad. So I go to approach Charles, and I want to make it easy. I want to announce my name. So I come in as a handshake. And by the time I say Charles, Mike Madden. By the time I got to be in Madden, Charles Haley, he had me by the hand. And he pulls me in. He says, I know who you are. And he hugs me close. And he starts whispering in my ear all the things that Dad knew to him and how much he loved Dad. And this was not a profile, fist close, good to see you, man. This was a hug, from a guy two guys who lost somebody that they loved very much. And the funny thing that I realized is there's Andrea Kramer and there's Charles Haley and there's dozens John Madden with them for the rest of their lives. And I believe that. And I think when you hear the stories of the people on the stage, I think they're all going to hear John Madden with them for the rest of their lives. And it's a sad time having lost him, but he's still with us. He's inside of all of us, and he will be for the rest of our lives. Thank you for that. I was always encouraged to finish with a story. Tell a story about side of my dad that the public doesn't know. And we all know that he passed away 3 days after the documentary, which was sorry. But he also passed away after his last grandson had played his last high school football game. We got to see all of his grandsons play all their high school football. Game was at Castlemont High School, but it was a loosely put together game. Hayward was canceled, the team was Bishop O'Dowd. Castlemont said, we'll play like a couple hours notice. Dad had always, for about 7 or 8 years, we had to get his car in a position where he could see the game. Well, we didn't think we could do that on 2 or 3 hours notice. He goes, I probably going to go. So we go, come on down, try it. So they drive down to Castlemont, and the people at Castlemont are so gracious. They open the gate, they usher them through and around, they open the other gate, and they got his car. It's so close to the field, it was darn in the way. And we played the game, and after the game, he usually wants to talk about the game. But at this time, he says, you know, the people at Castlemont, they're so nice. He goes, what can we do for the people at Castlemont? The kids at Castlemont. And from there, he couldn't get it out of his head. And he started, we're not just Castlemont, let's expand it. And long story short, we put together a menu of about 24 East Bay schools. And 6 kids from Oakland last year in September. So this football game was in March. By September, he had already put together a program whereby 6 kids from Oakland started Cal Poly under scholarships and went around our mom and dad. So that's the kind of guy that he was. And you heard from Mom, she's going to match all the money. She's going to start the John Madden Foundation. And that's going to be for scholarships and other opportunities for the youth of Oakland. So Dad loved Oakland. Oakland loved him back. Before we adjourn this celebration of this wonderful evening, we have one more piece to show you. The pinnacle moment of John Madden's football life, which resonates especially deeply here in Oakland.
Let's go, Riff Raff. You know that's right.
The way I was and the way the Raiders were in those days. It was just enjoying every single bit of it. And he had a whole bunch of reasons to win the Super Bowl game. And he got it done. He became that great coach that got him in the Hall of Fame that day. Great guy didn't know him. Great guy has his friend.
Yes.
The one
Yes!
16 stones that make up the football represents the 16 victories. Has scored the AFC Championship game against Pittsburgh. It has Fry on one side, boys on the other.
Probably the closest thing, that's an object that's me. This ring, I'm sure, means the same thing. Almost all my teammates took practice. World champion. Oh, great.
No one can ever take away. In 1976, we won this ring. And it's always ours. But bigger than the ring is the memories. You look at it and you remember all those players. And not only the big stars, we remember all how they sacrificed and what they did. You earned it. And you earned it by playing hard. And you earned it by winning. You earned it by being a champion.
Yes!
On behalf of all the cheerleaders, on behalf of all the speakers, most importantly, on behalf of the Madden family, all who got to join this celebration of John, his legacy, his life. Thank you to Oakland, and have a great night.
Oakland Raiders!